Hello there, so warmly welcome. My name is Lauri Planman. I'm an amateur photographer from Finland and I am trying to see some northern lights. I live in Espoo near Helsinki, so it is not that easy to see the northern lights this south. And I am doing this program for the fun of it and with zero budget, so if you're looking for some high-quality nature documentary, you should probably look elsewhere. But if you're interested in northern lights and maybe want to see them someday yourself, this might be a good program for you. I will go through some basics of the northern lights and how to photograph them. I will also show some great places where you can see the northern lights near Helsinki. Did you even know that it is possible to see the northern lights as south as Helsinki? Well, I didn't a couple of years ago when I started to figure things out. But is it possible or not? Well, come with me and let's find out. From the studio that brought you nothing. In cooperation with nobody. One man and a couple of used cameras on an epic journey. I don't know how deep they are, but I really don't want to find out. To see the nature's most amazing phenomena. Now I'm looking for some great spot to see the northern lights. Unbelievable adventure.
There is something splashing in the water. It might be some kind of sea monster.
Not in the far north, but near the biggest city of Finland. Lot of light pollution this near Helsinki. Outstanding obstacles. My time-lapse camera just broke down. Nerdy talk of some meters. BC is somewhere -5 on a path where anything or nothing can happen. I'm clearly bad at the cloud bingo. Witness the spectacle that many wishes to see and only few get to see.
Oh my goodness, so beautiful northern lights, yes, perfect.
Enter the world of magic. Lauri Planman is Lauri Planman in Hunting the Northern Lights on a Budget. This compass will tell you what is coming. North. It means I will go on the field and hunt some lights. Where? In every episode, I will show some great spot where it is possible to see the northern lights pretty near Helsinki. Scoop. In Scoop, I will tell some information about the lights. And extra, well, it is extra. Because I might talk about the northern light meters in this program, here is just a quick guide to them. The KP number tells how south the northern lights can be seen. KP1 North Lapland, KP5 Helsinki. The BC should dive between -5 to -10 to give a good chances to see the northern lights this south. The density and the speed should be high also. It is predicted that the 22-23 will be a good season to spot the northern lights. There should be good solar activity ahead. But the northern lights are tricky to see, especially as south as Helsinki, so nothing is certain. But I like the challenge. The late summer has been exceptional sunny and warm in Finland. The temperatures have been almost +30 Celsius and the nights have been very warm too. It's a bit weird to try to spot the northern lights with a t-shirt on, when usually there has to be super warm clothes. Because of the mosquitoes, I will have to keep long trousers and I still have my hoodie with me. It is a perfect summer weather and some hot nights are ahead. Here starts the hunting of the northern lights. It is the last day of July and the BC dropped near -10 at 10:30 p.m. It was also predicted KP4, so I had to go to sea. I went to Lake Budon, which is the nearest place where I could spot the northern lights. Hello and welcome to Lake Budon. It's the last day of July, so it might be too much light, but we shall see how it goes. So, nothing yet. I think the green that you can see in there, it's still the lights of the sun that goes. So, no northern lights yet, but I will wait just a bit and we'll see how it goes. I have my time-lapse camera there and maybe we can get some nice time-lapse even though we wouldn't see the northern lights. So, let's see. It's amazing how bright it still is. It's 1 o'clock in the night and look. It might be too bright for the northern lights tonight, but we keep on trying and this was my first time, so maybe I should wait a couple of weeks or something and maybe then it would be dark enough to see. But for now, what can I say? No lights today. I should probably be sleeping already because I got work tomorrow, but here I am, still on the Lake Budon. There is my time-lapse camera taking pictures. It is a beautiful night and there is some amount of darkness, but maybe not enough for the northern lights. Better luck next time. Bye. So it was too bright still, but in the next morning I saw in Facebook that in Canada there has been northern lights. So it was not that long shot after all. So, as we are just in the beginning of our journey, I want to show you my equipment. I have everything I need in this one bag, and I have 3 mirrorless cameras, and it's so great because they are so small, so I can fit everything in this one bag. And of course, one camera is there. It is Canon M50, and with that I am making these videos. But I have also this Canon M10, which is my first camera that I bought to shoot the northern lights, and it is great and cheap, but it doesn't have that much options like in the M50, and you cannot attach anything in there. And my time-lapse camera is Olympus Ep01, and it is great and pretty cheap, and I have the remote shutter in it, so it is good that I can make it to take pictures by itself. I cannot do that in the M10 because it doesn't have the plug to put the remote shutter, and it doesn't have time-lapse option also, so this is good for the time-lapse videos. Then I have 4 tripods in this bag. They are all pretty small, and it is useful to have like small tripods that I could use. And when you are shooting in a dark environment, it is really nice to have this little light here. So I can put it on like this, and without that there would be nothing to see in the dark. You couldn't see anything from me, so that is great. And I have also this microphone, this small microphone there, and I think it's a bit better than the camera's own microphone to have. And here is the Canon M50, and it is good to shoot the videos. I think nowadays it is a bit old, but it is perfect for me, and I bought it used, so it wasn't that expensive also. I really like these mirrorless cameras because they are so small and you can fit everything into one bag, so that is just perfect. How do I know when to go to hunt? Here are the apps, social media and internet pages I follow. Gemma. Very clear and good internet page of the Northern Light meters. In Gemma there are also the KP predictions in 3 days ahead and even longer. Revontulikyttäjät Facebook group. There are good speculations forehand from the CMEs, for example. Every Northern Light night there are sightings from the lights. Picture, time and place. However, I usually am already in a location when it starts to happen and do my decision to go based on the meters. If I would wait for sightings, I might be too late. Weather camera in Tampere. A good place to check the situation in pretty south in Finland, only about 200 kilometers north from Espoo. If it is possible to see it in there, it is possible to see it here. Unless the bow is very low in the horizon. Also, if I would wait the show to start in a weather camera, I would be late from the location. But if I am wondering should I go at all, if the values are small in the meters, it can help to decide should I go or not. And the Facebook group can help as well. These apps I have in my phone, but I don't actually use them so much. Every app and internet page uses the same information from 2 satellites, so it doesn't really matter what app or page you use. In Aurora app, I like that there are also weather cameras around the world. So it is easy spot to see the cameras instead of knowing all of their web addresses. The camera from Tampere can also be found there. Another try at the Lake Boodam. The BC has been diving a bit under -5, so not the best chances this far south, but a slight possibility. Hello, here I am at the Lake Boodam. The KP is 3 at the moment, predicted to be 4. There is still quite a lot of light in the sky. And the BC didn't drop that much. I was hoping it would drop below -5, but it stayed somewhere kind of in -5 and a little bit upper, so there is not that much chance to see, but I will keep trying. Maybe I will wait an hour or something and see if the BC will drop some more, so maybe then there would be a slight chance to see, but it's not that possible. In a couple of days ago, there was really good lights in Finland. It was seen in Helsinki area also, but I was just recovering from COVID, so I didn't go outside. I packed my bag and I charged my batteries and everything was okay. But then I thought maybe I was too tired to go and I didn't go, and then there was all kind of cool northern lights in the Helsinki area also, and it was dark enough and it was high from the sky and it was beautiful, but I didn't go, so I kind of regret that I didn't go then, but you never know, and I was kind of sick still, so it would probably not been a good idea anyway, so we'll hope that we can see some northern lights later on. There are some really nice night clouds in the sky. I don't know what are they called in English, but they are like lighting night clouds, and they come from the sunlight is still glimpsing in the clouds, so they will come like this white clouds, and they are actually really beautiful. I haven't been shooting them, I think, ever, so even though if there won't be any northern lights, I think those night clouds are good thing too. They are beautiful. And in this direction, the north, there is nothing to be seen right now, but I will point the camera there just for you to know. And the light that is showing, it is still the light from the sun, and it can look a little bit green, but that is not the northern lights. It's just the sun going down behind the horizon. So here is my time-lapse camera. You can see it's still taking pictures, and I have found, I think it was a nice spot for the camera. It's on the rock. There are pretty much mosquitoes here, so it's not that nice. But I think it's a beautiful place for the camera, and we'll see what kind of time-lapse I get this time. So here is the site in Lake Budum. There hasn't been any lights today, and I haven't heard that anyone has seen northern lights in Finland. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I have to go to work tomorrow as well, so I cannot stay all night, but I will keep trying. And it hasn't been that easy, but it never is near Helsinki. So I think I'm calling it a day, and I'm heading to sleep, and maybe I will see the northern lights in next time or sometime. Again, no northern lights, but the night clouds were nice to see. I knew it wouldn't be easy. I will keep my hopes up and keep on trying. Where to see the northern lights? Some of the best places to see the northern lights are Finnish Lapland, northern Norway and Sweden, Iceland, Alaska and northern Canada. But to see the northern lights, there should also be these three things: darkness, clear view for the northern sky, and finally some activity from the sun. Darkness. It has to be dark to see the northern lights. The best way to get dark environment is to go away from big cities. If there is much light pollution, the northern lights cannot be seen as clearly or at all. And in the summer in Finland, the day is so long that the northern lights cannot be seen. And in up north, the sun won't go down at all. It is called the midnight sun. In all of Finland, the northern light season lasts from 27th of August to 15th of April. The season is longer in southern places than northern places. One thing that some of people forget is that also the full moon can shine so bright that the weakest northern lights cannot be seen. Clear view for the north sky. There should be clear view to the north. Good places are lakes, fields and high places. If it is possible to see far to the north, it is a good place. In Lapland and some northern places, the northern lights can be seen straight above or at every direction. But in many other places, the northern lights are shown in northern sky. It is also important that the sky is clear from clouds. It is a good rule that if you can see the stars, you could see the northern lights, if they might appear. Many times moving clouds can look nice in time-lapse videos, for example, but if the sky is full of clouds, they will block the northern lights. Sometimes the clouds will turn green if there is a big show going behind them. And finally, the activity from the sun. I won't go to the science, the internet is full of it if you are interested. But here are some basics of the northern lights meters according to me. The northern lights appear if there is activity from the sun. It is possible to look the northern light meters and the weather forecast for the clouds, and then if everything looks good, there is a possibility to see some lights. The KP number tells how south will the lights be visible. For example, in Helsinki region, KP should be 5 if the lights would be really good. But usually I don't rely that much in predicted KP numbers, because if the other meters are dead, it doesn't matter what the KP number is. And KP numbers is hard to predict also. But when the other meters jump, the KP will rise also in that moment, and then it can be useful information to show how far the lights can be seen. I have been waiting for the lights in predicted KP5 and nothing happens. So after those kinds of nights, I have learned to look the other meters more. I think the most important value is the BZ. If the BZ goes down to minus, it is good. In Lapland, it doesn't have to go even very much to minus, but as south as Helsinki, it would be good that the BZ value would be at least between -5 to -10. The longer it stays in minus, the better. When the BZ dives, the lights usually come in an hour or so after that. Speed is also important. The higher, the better. The density should also be high. Sometimes, when all the other aspects are right, the lights can still seem weak if there is a full moon and the density is low. The best chance to see some amazing northern lights is when CME, coronal mass ejection, storm hits the Earth. Then it can be possible to see the northern lights straight above, even in Espoo and Helsinki. The KP number can go as high as 7, and the northern lights can be seen as far as Great Britain. I have seen only one time the northern lights straight above, and it happened in an hour away from Helsinki in Liesjärvi National Park in the time when CME striked. The problem about CMEs is that they are also hard to predict, and the timing can change very much from the forecasts. I have witnessed many times that in Finland everyone is waiting for the CME to come at night as predicted, but then it comes at morning and it's already too bright here, and in Canada there are amazing northern lights. It takes much patience to try to see the northern lights, but that makes them special when they actually appear. Happy huntings! August 11th. Couple of times leaving empty-handed, I was again heading to the Lake Boodum. There was predicted KP5 and the meters looked pretty good, so I had a bit more hope than the last times. So here I am again at the Lake Boodum. The meters were looking very good when I left. Now all the meters are going bad, so I guess this is another empty night, but I will try to see, and maybe sometime I get lucky and we hope that I can see something. But let's see. You never know. So, no northern lights yet. No northern lights yet. Northern lights. Northern lights. It is hard to pronounce northern lights. But luckily I don't have to say it that many times in this program. Northern lights. Northern lights. Northern lights. Sorry about my bad English, but there hasn't been any northern lights yet. Then, out of nowhere, the northern lights danced to the sky. It was a brief moment, but visible with bare eyes. It was the first lights I got to see in season 22-23, and it is still summer. That is so crazy. I haven't ever seen the northern lights this early, and I was very excited that I really had seen the lights finally. So, yes, finally I got to see some northern lights. They weren't that very big, but I could definitely I could see them with my own eyes, and it was great because I was kind of frustrated because I was trying so many times and I didn't see anything. I think now it is a bit quieter, There are also some clouds in the sky. Maybe I will take some pictures still and then go home. But yes, perfect. So after a few attempts, I finally saw some northern lights. It was great that the season had started. There was even stronger northern lights behind the clouds as I left, and it gave me hope that maybe something even better is on the way. Bad news. My trusted old time-lapse camera broke down somehow and now it's making a blurry pictures, and there is also some kind of grain and spots in the pictures. But I will still use it to just document the movement of the northern lights. So just to let you know that your display isn't broken, my camera is. But I hope I will get a new one soon. If there is a big show, it is possible to see the northern lights anywhere in Finland where there is dark enough and long views to the north sky. But you will have better chances if you go to some great spot. In every episode, I will show some good spot pretty near Helsinki. You can also learn what kind of spots are good, even though you wouldn't visit any of these exact spots. Is there some place near where you live, where is dark and good views to the north sky? A field? A hill? Or some nearby lake perhaps? Unfortunately, I am not visiting Helsinki or Vantaa, since if I'm traveling somewhere from Espoo, I am always headed away from big cities and light pollution. So before we go to see the first spot, here are some good places to hunt the lights in Helsinki and Vantaa. Lake Budom. Lake Budom is one of the best places to see the northern lights near Helsinki. It is only 20 kilometers away from Helsinki, depending what part of the city you are. There is a big swimming beach called Oittaa, and there is very big parking lot near the shore. It is near big cities, so there is pretty much light pollution. But what can you expect so near Helsinki? What I like the most in this place is the fact that there are many different kinds of spots to take pictures. The best places start on the right side of Oittaa beach, and there are nice spots deeper in the forest at shore. Hello and welcome to Espoo and Lake Budom. I will give you a quick tour of the place and I will show you the best places where you can spot the northern lights. So here is the main beach of Oittaa. There is a children's playground here also. And in the summer there is much people here. And there is some restaurant and ice cream shop there. And here is the lake. I think you could actually see the northern lights from here also. But I won't like this spot so much because there is very much light. The lights are on in the night also. There are street lights and there are some lights in the beach also. So this is like a nice spot, but the lights will just a bit ruin the darkness. This is a great reminder to anyone who wants to see the northern lights. You should look away from the sun or the city lights and look to the sky, and you should wave to the northern lights if you see them, and you should have your cell phone with you so you can take some great pictures. I think that's what it is. And if you have friend with you, you can say hi to the friend if he or she is on the other side of the lake or something. It is so nice from the Espoo city to have these reminders in the beach. And now, as you can see, the lights are already turned on, and there are pretty much lights in everywhere. There are some, I don't know what these gooses. Let's see, do they like me or not? There are those valkoposkihanhi, I don't know what is it in English. They are like taking over all of Finland beaches. There is quite big parking lot here also. And the trail to the good spots starts from there. And the good spots starts, I think, less than 100 meters from the beach. Or from the parking lot. The beach is over there. And there is this nice lonely tree, and it is looking to the north sky. Here is one of the best places to see the northern lights. It is easy walk from the other beach, and it has nice views to the north. There is this little beach here, and this was actually the place where I first time saw the lights. So this is a special place to me. There are also these cool benches here, so you can just chill and look to the northern lights with a great view. It's perfect. And over there is this little hill, and there's a nice view there also. And there is this little pier, and that's a good place to also get some reflections from the water, for example, or ice. And over there is maybe the most popular place here, because it has nice trees and you can get very close to the water there also, and you can see in every direction there, so it's perfect. So here is the view from the little hill that is near the little beach. And the little beach is over there, and there is the pier. Here is the most popular place to take photos here. There are nice trees there, and the north is that way, and you can also get pictures to the other directions as well. So this is very nice place. I have taken many pictures here, and I love them all. There's also some campers over that way, so I won't go there. The place has a pretty grim history, since in the year 1960, 3 young campers were murdered and the case was never closed. So I hope you are not afraid of the dark. The name Bottom might be familiar because it is in the name of one of the most famous Finnish metal band, Children of Bodom. I'm not certain of the story behind the name, but in the album covers there has been Grim the Reaper and yes, Northern Lights in the background as well. Sometimes there are also some candles brought to the shore to remember Aleksi Laiho, who has passed away. Aleksi was the singer and guitarist of the band. And when you're at the little beach here, Then if you go that direction, away from the big beach, to the coastline here, then there is other cool spots to see the northern lights. Let's go and have a look. After a couple of 100 meters walk from the little beach, you get here, and there is this little cabin there. I don't know what it is. It's like really small cabin. Nobody lives there. I think it's some kind of a storage or something. So, but it looks nice in the pictures. You can see some pictures later. So I have taken them in this spot and with that little cabin. Now I'm at the little pier at the cabin, and there is really much grass there. I don't know what it is called, like seagrass. It is kaislas in Finnish, and it's pretty much blocking the way. But in winter, that will be gone. So then you could see straight to the north sky over here also. It is getting dark, so I don't think I will go to the forest, because I don't think with this lighting it wouldn't give you anything. But if you are interested to go sometime to look for yourself, it is straight there, and just go by the shore, and there are good places that you can see from the pictures I have took. But there sometimes maybe the trees are blocking some places the view. I have sometimes even rigged my camera to the tree, because I wanted to get higher so I could shoot over the plants. So if you are creative, you can do anything. At least you can try anything. So it is worth checking these places there in the forest also, and you can see some samples soon from my previous pictures what I have took in there. One thing I forgot to mention also, that there is some frisbee golf course over there also. So in summer, if you want to come to throw frisbees, so it can be possible here also. And as I said, there is pretty much light here. Now it's getting dark, and you can see the lights are everywhere. So that is not the best for the northern lights. And here is my bike, and now I'm heading home. That's the end of my mini tour from Lake Budom. Now it's time to look some pictures. So, the first lights have been spotted in season 22-23 and it is still summer. That is so great. Let's see, will there be more? So here I am at Lohja and Liessaari. There is a pretty good parking spot near the island. And soon you will see what kind of place it is. Let's go. On a Sunday 14th of August, coronal mass ejection CME left from the Sun and probably is headed towards the Earth. It will raise the possibilities to see the northern lights in 17th to 18th of August. There is also some solar wind predicted on 17th, and because of that the predicted KP is 5, which would be very good. The weather forecasts are not that great. There is possible rain, thunder and clouds, so that lower the chances to see northern lights. Even though it is not guaranteed that the solar storm will hit the Earth and the weather is a bit bad, I'm still hopeful that maybe I can spot some lights soon. Almost there. I am going to the far side of the island. There is this lava. It's like a small cottage thing, and there should be nice views to the north. And I am almost there. It's a pretty long walk, but I hope it's worth it. I'm sweating like a pig. The walk was so hard, but it doesn't matter. So here I am at the Laavo. It is a very beautiful place. You can see the north is somewhere there. So it should be perfect if the northern lights will rise high. Now I'm just going to set up my gear and then start to take photos and prepare, and let's hope it's going to be a nice night. About the forecasts, it even got better because there was one CME that left in Sunday, and then there was another one and it left after the one before, and it is possible that they merged together and headed towards Earth. It is now KP4, predicted to be KP5 in an hour, and the BC is -14, which is like amazing. Speed is 464, which is also good. Density is 8. So there would be really nice chances to see the northern lights now. It is still too bright, but in an hour or so it will be dark enough, and I will hope I will see some great lights tonight. In this camera I have fisheye lens, which is like really wide. It's 8 millimeters, and I think it looks very nice, and I really hope the northern lights are big, so it would be cool to see how the fisheye lens will work. Yes, now there is something definitely happening in the horizon. Lights are getting bigger and bigger, and they're everywhere, so I will take photos everywhere I can, and I hope I get some nice photos. There were some clouds direct in the north, but luckily the lights spread also more to the west, and I got to see the beautiful lights dancing in the sky. They weren't the strongest lights, or maybe it wasn't as dark as it is in winter, but it was visible with bare eyes, and it was a magical sight in a magical place. Yes, it was the perfect night. There was lights everywhere. I'm still sweating like a pig, but it doesn't matter because I get to see some very nice northern lights and I'm so happy. Now I think I'm packing my stuff and heading back to the car and checking the meters, and maybe something will come up or then not. I will walk the couple of kilometers and then if something comes up, I will put my camera up again. But anyway, this has been a blast. So after I leave the shore, the clouds were covering all the sky, so I headed home because there was no chance to see the lights anymore. And later that evening, I saw in Facebook that somebody has seen the northern lights still in 2 o'clock at the morning, but the clouds covered the sky, so nothing could be done. It was the perfect night and I'm very excited what will come next. As the season 22-23 is predicted to be good at spotting the northern lights, the 23-24 and 24-25 are predicted to be even better. I wanted to point that out since if the northern lights are in your to-do list, it might be very useful information. And if you are interested how and where you can see the lights, you can learn something of it from this program. We are now going towards the peak of a solar cycle. In the peak, there are more sunspots than in the minimum part of the cycle. Sunspots are the flare-ups on the sun's surface that shoot magnetic energy at Earth and can produce northern lights. The solar cycle is about 11 years long. The peak of one cycle to the peak of the next cycle is around 11 years. So the time between 23 and 25 is the best times to see the northern lights in about 11 years. The sunspot peak is currently forecasted to occur in July 2025, but according to some other investigations, it might happen already in winter 2024. And in the peak there should be 115 sunspots expected that month. And, for example, in April 2022 there was only 37 sunspots. So in the peak there are so many sunspots that can make northern lights. What an amazing start for the season. And the answer to my question, is it possible to see the northern lights as south as Helsinki? Well, it is yes. There isn't that much magic in the world today, but the northern lights are truly a magical sight to see. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time. Bye bye. In the next episode, we are of course trying to see some northern lights. But because we are in Finland, we have to visit a sauna. No, not that sauna. A sauna with a twist.
There is something splashing in the water. It might be some kind of sea monster.
And I am visiting Liesjärvi National Park, which is a beautiful place with over 100-year-old buildings. And I am wandering in a deadly swamp. I don't know how deep they are, but I really don't want to find out. You should look away from the sun or the city lights and look to the sky. And you should wave to the northern lights if you see them. And you should have your cell phone with you so you can take some great pictures. Northern lights, northern lights, northern lights, northern lights, northern lights, northern lights, northern lights.